Evening, evening. I'm here. It's a little slow tonight, but it is what it is, right? How late am I? 6 minutes. It was a lot of piddling around, it's a lot of stumbling, but you know what? Adapt and conquer, adapt and conquer. I got it done. Let me push my paper towels away and all those things that kind of make a mess of my scene. Oh, my cat came up to visit me. Say hi when you pop in. Let me know where you're from. If you haven't popped into my channel before, my name is Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. I do a lot of back road exploring. I do a lot of urban exploration. I like to hang in Mother Nature. I like to go for evening walks, and I like to talk mindset. And as of late, on Sunday nights, right, for quite a while now, I have been doing the mindset on Sunday evenings. I go for an hour and a half, and we talk about many projects, but on for the whole, what we do is we kind of support each other during these times, these uncertain times that we're going through. And we just kind of have conversations about whatever's been going on. Is it cold in Bloomington, Indiana? You wouldn't believe how cold it is here. You could say that. Kathy's here too. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for popping in tonight. Yeah, it was in the minus 40s with the wind chill Celsius here in Winnipeg. I don't know what that is. Do you know the calculation there, Andrew, for minus 40 Celsius? Minus 40 Celsius with the wind chill. I can find out exactly what that temperature is. Hey, Google, can I get the temperature, please, here in Winnipeg with the wind chill? We'll see.
Well, there's no wind chill in Winnipeg currently. It feels like minus 27.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. No wind chill tonight. But it still says that we're under an extreme cold warning. But minus 27. Yeah, so let me know what minus 27 is. Yeah, 5 below Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is, Andrew, in Celsius. Let me know what that is in Celsius. It's got to be cold. That's below freezing anyway, because I know even at -1, that is freezing, right? So it's definitely below freezing. But yeah, I bundle up. I was going to go for a walk on these days off, but at that extreme cold, even though I know I could bundle up really well, I know because I have snow pants, I have good winter jackets, I have good toques, great scarves. I picked up a great pair of gloves yesterday at work for $1.50. So my hands will be nice and warm at least, right? But today was a day to stay inside of my apartment. Today I stayed inside of my apartment and I did laundry. I did a little bit of cleaning. I did some organizing. I wanted to feel good today. And I feel a bit like an upset stomach, right? But I think I ate too much. I made bread muffins. I don't feel good. And I had hot cross buns this morning too. Wow, minus 37. So you are cold. Holy moly. 37 degrees below freezing on our thermometer. That is really, really cold. That is really cold, Andrew. Yeah, it's pretty biting. It's pretty biting outside. We're having a hard time with the homeless. I hope the homeless in your area are doing okay. In a lot of the cities, right? And our winter has been fairly mild this year too, right? Our winters have been fairly mild, and for me, that cold is, like I said, it's not a big deal. It makes it so I don't have to wash the floors lots at work, right? Because when it's all mucky, it sure can make a mess of the floors. But when it's all frozen outside, it doesn't really affect us in the store and everything. But yeah, I'm so grateful to have a couple of days off now. I worked hard last week and I was really pooped. I was really pooped, but I'm really pooped usually by the end of my week because I know I put lots on my plate. But I want to see that I could juggle that, right? I would like to be able to carry on with my 2 live shows on Instagram and my lives on Sunday nights on YouTube. Plus, I want to get back on the road, right? And I'm working towards that car. I have $600 saved, people, to go towards my car, right? And today I paid off my cable vision, like my internet for home and everything. So I'm really pleased with myself as I am in my apartment right now. I'm doing pretty good with my bills now. I still have lots of bills far behind, but right now I'm trying to get settled into a new routine here, and I'm trying to build momentum up for a dream life that I would like to go after. And yeah, that dream life is pretty spectacular. I'm just going to shine. I'm just going to live my life. I'm just going to move forward, and as things get better in this world, as the coronavirus settles down and everything, like even now, right, where everybody's talking about how emotionally people have been suffering, right, while the virus is going on. And this has been ongoing. I knew this was going to be a problem. Like even before the virus, I didn't know the coronavirus was coming. I knew something was coming. I didn't know it was going to be the coronavirus, but I knew that people's emotional well-beings were at stake. I knew that. And I had lots of roads to delve down, and I wasn't even too sure. Well, I wasn't sure at all that I was going to be delving in emotions and emotional intelligence and trauma and complex and codependency. And I really dived deep into some of these topics last year, right? I really delved deep, and not knowing why, but just kind of going with the feeling, like, what did my soul want me to get into? What did I feel? And plus, at the same time, I was trying to understand some of my own feelings, right? And some of the feelings of the people who were following me, who were going through similar difficulties in their own lives. And I was trying to understand that. And then as I was trying to understand that, I kind of fell in love with learning about it, and then seeing the different aspects of the different people in my life and their problems, and then how their problems were affecting my life. And then and that's actually where I started making my movement, whether it was away from things that were negatively impacting my life, or moving towards things that were positively impacting my life, right? Sometimes, we don't have control out of certain things that happen to us, right? Because they happen to us without our consent, without our knowing that we even had a right to have a say. Sometimes the experiences, we're too young to even understand, and we look towards others to help us along, to help us learn about these things or protect us, right? And this is what I'm doing right now anyway, is a little bit of self-parenting. And I know Andrew does this too, because he's always doing little things, like, he's gonna not let himself buy new books, that he's gonna read the books that he has saved right now, and then he's gonna donate them to different little libraries in the neighborhood and stuff. Like, sometimes we have to make those hard decisions for ourselves and not rely on other people to make them for us. Or, make decisions like, he could say, oh, I read those books, and then he could pack them in a box and put them in a closet and save them, right? And what are they going to do? They're going to sit in the box in the closet being saved, and nobody's going to get to enjoy them or anything. So it's about our choices too, right? And my choice was to do a little bit of self-parenting, to go out there and search for people that had the answers for me that I needed to have answered, right? So that I could move forward a little bit, right? And I needed to keep practicing. If they were going to shut me down, or if I didn't have a vehicle to go off and do my exploring, it was important for me to keep my brand going. Okay, I can't explore the outside, but I certainly can keep up by exploring the inside. And I think I did a pretty good darn job at that. I think I really did. And I think our Sundays, all of you guys and everybody that comes and hangs out with me on Sunday nights and everything, I think we did an amazing job holding each other up. I'm waiting to see Robert, right? Robert, if you're out there, I've been thinking about you this week. We haven't heard from you since Christmas, Robert. So, it'd be really nice if you would pop into our lives and just let us know that everything is good, right? That everything is okay. And even if things aren't good, like just pop in and let us know, because there's lots of us here that I'm sure have thrown you a thought, right? And yeah, I hope that Christmas and the New Year was decent to you. At the very least, that it was bearable and that you're doing good. But yeah, if you pop into my lives afterwards, or even if you're watching right now in the background or something, just you don't have to hang out. You could just say, I'm here, I'm alive and kicking, and we're still doing this, right? Just give us the heads up. That would be really, really nice. So let me read some of these comments and stuff going on. And I know Kathy's here and Andrew's here. Oh, okay. So they are doing. You actually can go to church now, Andrew. You can go into the church now and have service. That's pretty good that you could still choose to do the live stream at home, right? Things are going to change now, right? Because of this coronavirus, because of these experiences that we have had in life, we are all going to be making some serious changes in our lives. And some of them are going to be forced on us because we're not going to have a choice. Because in order to survive, we're going to have to make some cutbacks, or we're going to have to change the directions that we're living in, or change our expectations of what we had for ourselves, right? Oh, Andrew, that's nice of you to say, because I am trying. I do feel that movement, right? When I look back at the content that I've produced over the past couple of years, I can see that improvement, right? And I can see that I'm picking up on some great, great thought leaders out there. And I hope they're moving in their content too, because they're putting out some really great stuff, and I'm learning off some really, really amazing people. There's some great influences out there, and I am so glad that I tossed my TV away. I don't even miss it. I haven't watched TV in 3 years now, and I am so grateful for it. I haven't even been into the website to see what's been going on with the coronavirus. I don't think I even checked once this week. Last time I checked, Manitoba had gotten back and gotten things under control again. They have eased things up a little bit. They've opened up the stores so people can go shopping and stuff now. But they're being very strict. They're giving out fines and stuff to people that are over capacity, that are not wearing their face masks, or even wearing the proper face mask. Like even in my store, you're not allowed to wear respirators. People come in with those face masks with the respirators, because even though they protect you, they don't protect other people, right? Those respirators. So we don't allow them. We don't allow people to come into the stores wearing bandanas and scarves around their faces either. Like you have to have like a really good face mask on, right? We don't allow the gaiters, and we don't allow like bandanas and face scarves and stuff, or head scarves and stuff like this. And people, they get pretty upset when you call them on it, right? Because, some of these places and most stores are pretty tolerant of it, which they shouldn't be. But our organization has been open for most of the coronavirus. Nobody has gotten sick. I have my app on my phone. If anybody who is sick or has gone into quarantine or anything has come near me within 6 feet, my phone would give me alert, right? Because I do have that tracking app on my phone. And I am serious about this coronavirus, and I am serious about wearing my face mask in public. And I wash them. I wash them every single day. I never wear the same mask more than the course of the day. And I always have extra ones in my pocket, because depending, if it's cold outside or if it's windy, Whether it's really, really hot in the building will determine the face mask that I'm going to want to wear, because obviously some of my face masks are a little bit more breathable than others, right? I'm just going to I'm going to try and keep up with the comments here, right? And just answer them and stuff as I go. But next week, I think next Sunday when I do my live, everybody, I think I'll show everybody my apartment again. I have added a few things. I brought in a new desk into my live, and I was very grateful to one of the gentlemen, just a sweetheart at my work, that offered to. Well, he didn't offer. His mom offered to help me with some furniture if I ever needed some furniture. Brought in, and hi Shelly, if you're watching, special hello to you for sure. Very kind of you to always be so considerate, and thank you for the donuts at work this weekend. Yes, I went off my diet again, and I had one of those diets, but I'm watching my weight. I'm trying not to eat too much. I'm trying not to let those calories sit there without burning them off, right? And so far, so good. But the thing is, I do need to eat a little bit healthier, and I'm really craving some fruit. I'm really craving some pineapple, and I've been eating bananas lately, and they've been helping. I'm hoping helping with my Charlie horses. For those of you who suffer from Charlie horses, they happen for two reasons. One, you're dehydrated. You're not taking in enough water, and for the most part, that is my problem. Is that I am a little bit dehydrated, probably a lot dehydrated. And secondly, is the lack of potassium. If you don't have enough potassium in your system, Charlie horses can arise that way, and little muscular twicks and stuff like this that can be painful, right? So, and you can get potassium from bananas, but bananas have a lot of sugar in them too. I was reading about bananas. I was watching a little documentary on bananas. There was a time that bananas were barely edible, right? And they were actually, people would plant them in different places. And lots of our fruit trees and lots of our plants and herbs and stuff like this have been a progress and an evolution of their own, just like us as human beings going through our evolution. So has plants, right? Bananas at one time were barely edible. They were very, very tough, like tough. The skin was almost like bark, and they were full of seeds like garden cucumbers, right? Like watermelons. They had big seeds in them like that, right? And again, you have plantains and you have bananas, but they're from like the same families, right? So one kind of turned a little bit more of a meaty kind of vegetable, right? And the other one turned into a fruit. And yeah, it went into trade and everything, but those have all been disciplined and trained by humans. And most of our fruits and vegetables have been manipulated by humans, right? Again, forced in their evolution to make them edible. But I have been craving fruit. I crave pineapple a great deal. And I've been looking at the shelves, people. I don't know who out there, you guys tell me if you've been noticing when you go to the grocery store that some of your favorite brands and things like that are just not there on the shelf. I think some of these companies are already failing. I see a lot of products going on 50% clearance and stuff like that. And I like to pick things up like that because that's a big savings, right? That's a big savings. So I've been doing a lot of that lately, picking up some of these 50% off items and stuff. And I guess that's why I'm noticing that some of these brand names are slowly disappearing, right? That maybe they're having some difficult times financially right now. Maybe the COVID virus shutting down the plants have just been a little bit too much. I know by the leasing, right? The leasing signs and the for sale signs and for rent signs up all over the place, right? That people are having a difficult time finding renters. I spent last week, because it was the beginning of the week, and I just sat here and I did my work at my desk, and I was just watching people move in and out apartments right now. I'm certain that there are a lot of roommate situations going on right now. But I'd be curious to hear from you guys if you're noticing that some plants and some companies and some food products that they're actually disappearing right now. Some big companies falling under, right? Yeah, we're losing Hudson Bay people. Hudson Bay is going. Yeah, our oldest department store here on Portage, and is it Vaughan Memorial? Yeah, it's Osborne Street, and I think it turns into Memorial, right? So yeah, we're losing our great store, our beautiful big store that had beautiful windows, right? And they've got to do something amazing, because the architecture in that building and the features, right? The escalators, the old tiles. I remember the old bathrooms in there with the light, big long mirrors and the seats and the makeup, where the women in the 20s and 30s and 40s, they would go and they'd actually have bathroom attendants in that grocery store, right? You go up there and yeah, it's really neat, right? My sister actually went in there and she did a tour of there. She snuck up there. They've got that part of the mall all, or the Hudson Bay store all closed off, but she got up there somehow and she was walking around the attic and looking at all the neat architecture and all the stuff that they had stored up there and everything, and checked out the old bathrooms. I think they were on the 6th floor and stuff, but it's going to be sad to see. The Hudson Bay Company here is the oldest. I don't know if people know it, but the Hudson Bay Company is the oldest running business in the entire world. It has been here since the longest, I would think 1600s. I know they came to Canada in 1671 as a fur trading company, right? And they built Fort Francis up in Churchill there. Is it Fort Francis? And they have been around here for so long. But yeah, just to realize that they are the oldest still running company in the entire world. That's pretty incredible. And they have evolved, right? When they first came here, they were all about the beavers, right? They were a fur trading company, and they were about setting up posts, and they were the voyageurs, right? Then they became grocery stores, and they had little posts and markets and stuff. And yeah, I sure invited this Indigenous lady downtown one time, and we were sitting in the back lane. They had some old stone that had been taken down from buildings, and decorated this little enclave, and it had benches and stuff in there. And I like to sit in there. And there was this Native couple there, and we got to talking, and she told me, and she invited me up to this small town. It was started with a K, and I can't remember, up north. I've got it written down. She gave me addresses, and she made a little map and everything for me for an old Hudson Bay fort that is actually still standing. Like, the building is still standing. They were maintaining it for the longest time, and they just only recently just kind of gave up on it and everything, and it's still there. So she invited me up. It's close to a reserve up there, but she said that if I went up there, and she wrote down a couple of names, that I could just go and ask after these people, and they would be happy to show me these places, right? I'm so looking forward to doing some fun things, right? We are going to get our vaccine soon. I'm certain this is going to be an amazing summer. They're saying they're trying to make sure that everybody gets vaccines by September, but September is too long. People can't do another summer lockdown. We have to get everybody vaccinated by the end of spring, at the very latest by Easter, right? By the very latest by Easter, people have got to see some of the light at the end of the rainbow. They have to see some of that. They have to see that there's some light going on and things are going to start getting a little bit better, because there's a lot of emotional stuff going on. And I know that I was woken up to all of this for this specific reason, right? It wasn't just a coincidence that it was exactly 1 year, right, to when the coronavirus started, that I woke up. Exactly to the month, 1 year, right? So it's no coincidence to me, and it makes 100% sense. Like, who was I to think that I was going to be delving into emotions and I was going to be working in trauma and childhood trauma in specific, right? But I know my purpose comes from my pain, right? I trust the source that said that. I trust 100%. If I don't trust anything, I trust that one statement that Evan Carmichael said, right? Your purpose comes from your pain. And I think about my pain, and there have been a lot of pains in my life, right? But the pain was the emotional part of it. And I didn't know that. I thought it was just going to be the event. I just thought I would help people through complex trauma to learn to grow through their childhood experiences and stuff. But no, wasn't exactly the way it worked out. But you know what? I left myself open to that, right? So however spirit wants to take me, whatever route, I'm leaving myself open, and I'm just playing this story as I go along, right? With no expectations, not forcing anything, right? Because there are ideas and thoughts and wants on my end. Oh, you can 100% guarantee that, right? But knowing that I have complex trauma, knowing that I'm a very dependent person on other people who are going to do kind things for me to help me along, right? Kindness is my one word, right? It's how I treat myself, that I have to pay attention, that I'm treating myself kindly, because most of us, especially in this crew that we have here on Sunday nights, we're not very kind of ourselves. Like, and I've heard it right in the comments. And I have such smart people here on their own journeys to boot, right? And putting out their good stuff, right? And I'm sure of it. We were just supposed to lean on each other and help each other through this crazy time. And I really, really love our Sunday nights together. I really, really love our Sunday nights together. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I really love our Sunday nights together. Okay, let's look at some of these. Let's look. Oh, Amon made it. Amon, everybody, this is Amon. He's a follower of mine on Instagram, and to let everybody know, tonight was his first time that he missed my live on Instagram. It was his very first time, and I would say in months. And I go live twice a day. And if you go back on my live, Aman, and watch that live, I actually called you on it, right? And not a big deal. You're absolutely amazing to actually make that effort, Aman, to come into my lives the way you do. And it's much, much, much appreciated. Let's take a look at some of these comments here. Kathy's here, and Andrew's here, and Owen just came in. Oh, Joel is here. Joel, hi, Joel. I haven't talked to you in a while. I hope you're having a great week, Joel. I hope you're having a great week, and I hope things are going a little bit better, right, for you right now. I know, I don't know what they're doing for the coronavirus where you are, but I hope that they're thinking about giving the vaccines out, right? Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me? 15-hour fast? And how often do you do those fasts, Andrew? Congratulations on the 10-pound loss, though. Congratulations on the 10-pound loss. That's amazing, Andrew. Amazing. And that's going to help your legs out lots, too. I noticed that when I took the weight off, that, my breath came back, just that energy level really, really picked up. You don't notice. It's like walking around with an 80-pound rucksack on your back, right? When you have that weight on. So it's like you're going, my husband was in the military, so that's why I use that example, right? Because he used to go for these walks where he'd have to put on an 80-pound rucksack, and they would go marching with these things on, right? And they would march for hours. And then, I think about it, and yes, it's almost like that, right? Because you feel when you have the rucksack, like you feel that, right? And it's the same idea when you carry that extra weight on you, right? I was reading about that too, Andrew, about the Americans, the early Americans altering the corn. And I was actually watching a program about dog food. I know it seems off, but for those of you, they're saying that it's really important for us to take a look at the labeling on our dog food because we have these animals that we absolutely love, right? But they're filling up the dog food with corn byproduct, right? And this is not good for the dogs. And not only that, what they're doing is they say protein byproducts. When they say that word, if you see that word on your labeling, that means that they are putting the organs and the tailings and stuff into the and bone and cartilage and skull and teeth and whatever, right? And that's your protein byproducts. And that's what they're doing in the pet food, right? They said that the best way to feed your dog would be just to feed them raw meat. And turkey is a good one. And they say it just like if you're going to do vegetables for your dog, like dogs that were never meant. If dogs were wolves out in the wilderness and stuff, they would be eating raw meat. They would not be eating corn. You wouldn't see a dog, right, running off with corn out of a field or anything, because these are not things that dogs eat, right? So yeah, that's what I was hearing about the corn, right? And yeah, I was also listening to about how they did manipulate the corn harvest, right? Yeah, to make it more edible. And what were they saying about corn? They were saying something about corn and how it wasn't really edible, but then they manipulated it and made it edible. Wow. That's a long fast. I know probably I've been keeping my weight off because I get up in the morning, I have a cup of coffee, and I go to work, and I get home, quite often 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, right? I get home at night, and then I quickly guzzle something down because I'm so starving, and then I do my live show right away. I'm so exhausted. Then I go to bed, and then it's just repeat the whole thing. And all I do is I look forward to my days off, right? I get the Sundays and the Mondays off, so I get tomorrow off too. I may go for a little walk tomorrow. Maybe I'll walk down to go visit my sister. That would be a good long walk tomorrow. It'd probably take me about an hour to walk down to her place and to get some nice, good, fresh, cold air, because yes, they said that it was going to carry on. But I would have to make those phone calls tomorrow and get some of that done. I said I wanted to try and get my income tax return done tomorrow, if at all possible. And I have to, I paid my bills today. I'm pleased. And I have $600, guys. Everybody, I saved $600 already towards my car. But I might have to use 100 of it to pay for my eye exam. If I could get an eye exam right away, I got to make my appointment tomorrow to get my eye exam. But I'm really pleased with myself. And my sister has some listings done for me. Here's some interesting things. I went to work. It was a couple of weeks ago. I went to work, and I got this it looked like a little tea ball, right? Where you put loose tea in it, and then you drop it in your teacup and you make a cup of tea. But it was open. It was like a little poached egg cup, right? And it also had a little stand. And I saw markings on it. So I took the magnifying glass, and sure enough, it had lions, and it said 925. And then they had a sterling silver mark on it and a whole bunch of little marks, right? So I said, okay, well, it's sterling silver. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it in my jar because I have a jar. And this jar of my gold and silver is specifically for my camping. It's for nothing else. It's for camping gear. It's for groceries. It's for gas. This is my fund so that I'm taking care of that too, people. And this is the scrap silver and gold that I'm picking up at work. I'm not getting very much. The resellers get to it long before I do because I can only do it after work. But I have a couple of days that I either start late or I get off early. So those are the 2 days that I could do it, and I'll pick through it. And sometimes I find a little item. I found an item this week, a really nice pair of earrings, but my sister took them upstairs thinking that maybe she could sell them. But she said she'd do some research on them for me. But I didn't plan on getting a pair of silver earrings this week, but I did. So they'll go in the jar, and all of that I will sell as scrap silver. And that will be my camping money too. I'm working on it, people. I have a little plan. I have a little plan in my head, right? We're going to do this myself. This is what I'm pretty certain my soul wants me to do, is just this one small challenge of getting myself a car. If I make that goal and if I work towards that goal myself, right? Spirit will kind of give me a push and a lift at the same time and do its own magic too. And you never know what I'm going to come. I haven't even gone into car dealerships or anything like that just to see what I can get for $4,000, because I'm going to assume that's about how much money I'm going to have to get a vehicle. I'm crossing my fingers that's how much I'm going to have, but I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be 4,000. So I should be able to get something safety for 4,000, because I'm going hunting for amethyst this summer. No question, I am going to an amethyst mine this summer, and I'm going to sell my amethyst. And I haven't even tried this rock tumbler. I got this rock tumbler, and I haven't even tried the rock tumbler, and I'll be selling those too. Look at me, all trying to find all these different ideas. It's a little business. Plus my sister trying to help me out by selling a few of these things. But back to my story about this little tea caddy. So I was just going to sell it as scrap metal, right? Just going to put it in my jar. And I thought, I'll get 20 or 30. I figured maybe $30 or $40. I thought, I'll get $30 or $40 for it. That's pretty good for 50-cent investment. It only cost me 50 cents, right? It was all black and, right, it didn't look like it was a good shape. But when I came home, I wanted to confirm whether or not it was for tea, right? So I took it up for my sister. She goes, I'll research it later. And then she came upstairs and she says, I cleaned it all up. And she showed me pictures after she had cleaned the silver and everything. It was just the prettiest little thing, right? And then the next day she came down. She goes, Cindy, I listed your little tea sifter in the stand. And I says, yeah. She goes, yeah, let me show you. And she showed me, and she got it at buy it now. I paid 50 cents for this. She put it at buy it now for $200. For $200. All that money's going towards my car, people. All of it. I'm so proud of myself that the things that I'm picking up, I'm doing. And then my sister, she shows me up all the time. She's just a little go-getter, right? When it comes, like, she's the entrepreneur. Like, she's truly an entrepreneur. But I came home, like, I've been collecting earthenware and stuff, and I want to put on a big sale in earthenware. And I found this plate, and it was with some granaries, like in the prairies. It was a prairie scene with some granaries and train tracks on it. And I brought it home, and I took it and I showed it to her. So she said, I'll research it. And yeah, she was crazy. She goes, Cindy, I listed it. She says, but yeah, this woman passed away. And she lived in BC in the Squamish area, pretty famous with her earthenware. She was showing in galleries. I sent emails to the galleries. I'm trying to get in contact with the directors of these galleries so I can get a pricing on your plate and stuff. And I'm going, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't even have thought to go that far. And my sister, she just delves in like it's all a big piece of raw meat with her. right? She's just chomping it down, and she's so brave, and she just knows exactly, right? She has no qualms about going in and getting the answers she needs, right? And then there's Cindy, who just pussyfoots around absolutely everything, right? Let me read some of the comments here. And it is a plan, Owen. And it is a plan. It's, and I'm working at it. I'm doing the best that I can. But again, I've always relied on my sisters. I've always relied on other people to take care of these things for me. These are things and worries I've never had to worry about before, right? I just come in, they say, do this, do this, do this. And then I would say, oh, but can you do this? And can you do this? And can you do this? And that's what it was. We made our relationships like transactional, right? And it's good to support your friends and family that way, but it got to be transactional. And we know all the story about that, right? And yeah, tonight's not the night for that. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Andrew, of maybe going to the auction because I know I could get a good deal. But the thing is, it's important for me to get a vehicle that is safety, right? Because I am a female, because people try to, right, haggle and do sneaky things and everything. That if I end up with a vehicle with a cracked gas tank or bum transmission or something, these are big things that would make a 4,000 car investment mean nothing because it would cost the same amount of money to fix, right? So it's important that I want my car safety when I purchase it so that I know that it can just automatically go on the road and I can just fix the small things that need to be fixed as I go along, right? Yeah. And I don't have anybody. Well, I'll probably take my brother-in-law Ian. I'm sure my brother-in-law Ian will come with me, or Tom, like my other brother-in-law. Tom will come with me to help pick a vehicle or something. I'm not living beyond my means. I'm not going to spend more money than I can afford. This vehicle is going to be paid off. The insurance is going to be less than what I had before. And I'm not going to be worrying about somebody taking my vehicle away because I'm not doing what they expect me to do, right? This way I can do whatever I want, right? And know that the consequences will be consequences I put myself into, and not because somebody wants to shut me down in any way, right? And no hard feelings. Forgiveness is all the way around on my part too. I have to forgive myself because those are my choices to allow myself to get myself in those situations, right? Those were, I should never have lived beyond my means. I should never have allowed that to happen, right? But that comes from being a codependent. That comes from needing people to take care of things for you, right? And like I said, I would try and make up for doing things, I'd be my sister's housekeeper, help her in the garden, help her with the grocery shopping, do whatever she needed me to do, right? To try to make up for the kindnesses that she was doing for me. But it was never enough, right? It just never seemed to be enough. And what I was doing is I was dragging people down with my choices. And I needed to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, make my own choices, pay prices for my own wrongdoings, and not drag other people down into my miseries. So, and there is no more miseries. I kind of get what's going on, and I just kind of let that go. And I'm so grateful as long as I have a roof over my head, right? Nothing bothers me. None of it bothers me. They can't do anything. This is my apartment, and as long as I can come up with $400 a month, I never have to worry about it. It'll always be my apartment. All I have to do is take care of the roof over my head and put groceries in the cupboard, right? Make sure my phone bill is paid off. But in the meantime, Cindy does need a vehicle, because you all know how much I love being out in nature. And my brand is exploring the outside as well as exploring the inside. So it's important for me for that aspect of my life to be realized, right? Because that's something that I need, not just my soul needs, but Cindy, the person, the human, needs this too, right? Right? Okay, let's look at some comments. My favorite vehicle was a 1977 Toyota Celica. Well, no, the Chevy Tracker was my favorite vehicle. I love the Chevy Tracker. I love the Chevy Tracker. They don't make them anymore. But yeah, it was a great vehicle. But the Toyota Celica was pretty amazing. It was a little sporty car that I had, and the rivets on the side panels came undone. And when I go down the highway at 90 or 100, right, they would flip up like an airplane. Yeah, I finally drove it to the wreckers and traded it for an old Mafia 1957 Malibu or something. It looked like a Mafia car, something out of Goodfellas, and that didn't last very long either. But I've always had cars. Since I got my driver's license, I've always had vehicles, right? But then I got my first new vehicle, and I only got that vehicle probably 20 years ago. And then I got my Chevy Trax, which was a brand new car, and I loved that little car too. But it was small, and I couldn't get a tow hitch on it and stuff. So when it got written off in a car accident, I was sitting at a stop sign and somebody slammed into me and wrote my car off. And then I got my Outlander, which was absolutely perfect for the road. And I trashed those tires. I tell you, those back roads totally did a job on my tires, but I got a good deal on some really great tires. And then I found out that, well, then my sister took the car away from me when she figured out that I took off to Toronto, right? And yeah, she didn't like me on social media, and she decided that she was going to shut me down and use the excuse that I couldn't afford it. Well, my sister was making the car payments anyway. She bought me that car. She was making the car payments since day one on that vehicle. And then all I had to do was pay the car insurance. I said, can I just like park the car in my parking lot? I have a parking spot. Can I just park it until I can get a vehicle? And she said, no. She took the car away from me. And then I just recently found out that she sold it to my nephew. So my nephew has my car. So I'm glad I put some really good tires, because I got a really good deal on some great tires on that vehicle. And I'm just looking forward to having my own vehicle paid for with my own money, which I used to do, but it's going to be paid for. I'm not going to be beholden to anybody. And I am going to take some amazing trips this summer. It's why it's really important for me that we get our vaccines, right? Let's do this. Let's do this by spring, people, because emotionally, people can't wait until the summer's over. Once the summer's over, it's not going to do any good. You're going to have everybody vaccinated by September, and they're going to go into winter, and they're just going to go into such a hard depression because they've had their vaccines, but now they're being shut down by winter. And you know how hard winter is emotionally. I know I have a hard time. November seemed like a breeze for me this year. I just plowed right through because of my fear of what was going on with the roof over my head, right? But yeah, next November it'll be on my doorstep again. How will I manage it? Will I be working on another problem like I did this year? Hopefully not. I hope that my momentum and my abundance is flowing really, really well, right? And that the progress that I've made in the past few years is actually going to be really, really noticeable to everybody, right? So that is my hope. So I'm pretty excited. And I'm pretty determined. And like I said, I'm going to do my income tax tomorrow, and every penny from my income tax return will be going towards the car, right? I don't know how much I'm going to get. It would be nice to get 1,000. That would mean that I have $1,600 saved already, and I might have $1,000 worth of stuff, right, to sell. Even though I did make a deal with my sister Allison, she's going to do a live with me, everybody. She said she would do a live. She's just waiting for me to just be a little bit more settled in my circumstances here, but she's going to said she'd come in and she'd do a live with me. But yeah, and I'm truly looking forward to that. Oh, Melvin's here too. Hi, Melvin. Yeah, it's the same here, Melvin. In Winnipeg, it's minus 27 here. But yeah, that's minus 37. That is cold for sure. That is really, really cold. But you know what? We have had such an amazing winter this year. We have had a really, really amazing winter when it comes to how cold it is, right? How cold it has been. And Manitobans, we don't mind the face mask, especially in the wintertime, just for the fact they keep our cheeks warm here in Winnipeg. And even with the coronavirus gone, I think next winter I'm going to wear my face mask too, or at least get one of those nice, great big wool face masks with just the eyes and just keep usually my skin on my cheeks and on my nose peels off like a sunburn in the winter, right? Because my skin freezes and it's like a burn. I mean, I guess it could be like a sun wind burn because we do still get a lot of sun here in the wintertime. We still get a lot of sun in the wintertime, right? Well, 100% Owen, and it's a proven fact for me. November is the toughest month, right? I get a little break at Christmas. Things start perking up, with the Christmas music and the decorations and the celebration and stuff. So it's usually and then once that's over, January, we just start settling into winter. But come February, it's usually back. Usually we're in February right now and I'm feeling pretty darn good. I have to tell you guys that emotionally I feel pretty good. And I know it could turn on a dime. It could be a totally different story an hour from now, half an hour from now, a minute from now, right? It could be a different story. But I'm very, very grateful, right? Because, as much as all the hairy scary is going on in this world, like just to have a picture window, you guys, you know how I was talking when I was in my old place, right? Now I would say my affirmations and say how grateful I was for my big picture window. I have an amazing picture window here, people. Like, is that just not a crazy miracle in itself? Like, I'm looking out, it's a different scene. Like in my old place, I was looking down the tunnel of elm trees and seeing the old houses and seeing the kids go to school and seeing people walk their dogs. Here it's a little bit different. I'm on a busy street. It's a fairly busy street. So even my cat loves to look out the window, but lots of people walking up and down the streets, tons of old 100-year-old apartment blocks. I'm sitting right in the midst of it. I see downtown so clearly, like I'm surrounded. Like if I counted my how many buildings I could see just from me sitting where I am right now without going like this or like this, but just looking. I counted 61. Was it 61 buildings that I could count? Even if I could count the rooftops, as long as I saw the rooftops, I could see 60. That's a lot of buildings. That's a lot of span. I'm looking directly at downtown and I'm directly looking at our Manitoba Legislative Building that has a great big skyscraper and it has a 30-foot tall golden boy holding a reef of wheat to the sky. I don't know if you guys look at the insignia for legislative. We call him the golden boy. And like I said, he's 30 feet tall. He sits at the top of the legislative building and he's in some kind of provocative jogging kind of mode or something. And then he's holding up a big wad of, wheat, right? Because we are an agricultural province here in Manitoba. Yeah, that's super cold, Malvin. That's super cold. Minus 37. We were minus 37, minus 38 last night. We were in the minus 40s with the wind chill last night. It was cold. It was so cold. I had to buy a new pair of gloves. Otherwise, my hands would have frozen off. Oh, Nancy made it tonight too. Nancy. Hi, Nancy. How are you doing, dear? Awesome. That's so amazing. I love Nancy. Yeah, she always tries to make it in. Actually, you guys all do. You all do. And I know all you guys too in the background that come in and watch the lives. And if you pop in, give me the thumbs up because if YouTube thinks that you guys like my lives, right? Maybe they'll send it out to some other people that could probably use this kind of community that we have here, right? Because we have a lot of people here that, our company does make a huge, huge difference, right? All you guys provide value to everybody who walks in the door, right? And you're so welcoming. I just love how you guys all take care of everybody that pops in. And lots of times I'm rambling off about something and you guys meet the new people before I do, right? But anytime, like even everybody here too, right? Like I was thinking about you earlier today, Andrew, when I was doing my live on my morning live show today. And I was thinking how much I would love you on my Instagram lives, how wonderful it would be if you could come and hang out on my Instagram lives, right? I think you would absolutely love them. But if you ever, oh, excuse me, if you ever download, if you ever go to the Play Store, Google Play Store, just download the Instagram app, right? You could do it right through Google Play Store. Just download the app on your phone, right? Just go to your phone and download Instagram. And then when I go live, you guys will get a notification and you guys can come hang out with me. And if you want to go live with me, we can actually go live and we can put a lesson out there for the people who follow me on Instagram over there. I get a lot of people from all over the world on my Instagram. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about my Instagram is, for whatever reason, I get people from all over the world. Australia, Africa, England, Belgium, Iran, lots of Middle Eastern, Turkey, right? I'm just trying to think all over the States, all different places in the States, and the people that come onto my lives there, they're so sweet too. And lots of them actually have their own Instagram lives and everything too that they do, right? I look forward to that day, Andrew, when you get Instagram. Nancy and Kathy both follow me on Instagram, and so does Aman, and so does Owen. William follows me on Instagram too. Actually, when you do the Instagram, you can actually DM me too, and we can have conversations. I have conversations with Nancy and Kathy and Owen, right? All the time on my Instagram with Andrew. Well, I have Andrew's email and Andrew has my email. So we actually do emails, me and Andrew. Mind you, all the rest of you guys, some of you too also have my emails and I don't give those emails out to everybody, right? There's only a few people that have my emails, but yeah, I trust you guys. Who's Justine? Malvin, who's Justine's? I don't know who she is. I'm going to assume that's a she. Oh, thanks, Owen. I appreciate that you do that. I do because it's important. When you guys give me the thumbs up like that, then what that does is it tells YouTube that you're enjoying my lives. And what they'll do is they'll go and promote it. I got my YouTube channel back, but it still won't let me comment. But I think it's the European laws are really different now, so it makes it difficult for me to make comments on some of my creators and stuff that I follow, right? Oh, and I'm going to have to check out that video. I'm going to write it down right here. Oh, one of the ladies at my work too, she's so sweet. Like you guys know that I do notes, right? I do notes and that's my thing. And I kind of think that, it's messy, like it's a big mess. But when I get some great insight or people put out some great information out there that I think I might be able to pass on to other people, I like to make these notes, right? And sometimes I don't go back to them, but I close that book up. And when that book is full, each book lasts me a couple of weeks. I usually do about two school binders every month. But one of the ladies at work knows I do scribblers, right? I do these school scribblers, and each package has 4 scribblers in them, right? 4 school scribblers. And she got me 2 packages so I can make notes. Was that ever nice of her? Wasn't that nice of her to do that for me? Yeah, it's much appreciated. I couldn't get these because these were considered non-essential items, so it was difficult for me to get my hands on these. And I actually went quite a while for most of the time that I've been living here, and I've been living here now for what, 3 weeks now? Three? Have I been only living here for 3 weeks? Yeah, I'm getting close to a month. Just over 3 weeks I've lived here. I have only gone through one scribbler for notes, right? Number one, the desk was too small. Number two, I was really disorganized. I was trying to spend all my extra time just trying to get myself settled and comfortable in my apartment. Oh my goodness, I had such a good sleep last night. I watched this one lady. Her name's Marlene Cohen, right? And she does light language. She does some Reiki. She does light language. And she put out a special healing yesterday for people who don't sleep well. Because, I'm usually a really, really good sleeper. But since I moved into this apartment, I can't regulate the heat the way I did it. And in my old apartment, my head where I sleep was right underneath the window, right? So I was getting fresh air for at least 8 hours a day, and it's just been so cold I can't even open up my window here. And earlier this week I dug out the fan just because I like the whir of the fan. I thought that might be a little bit comforting and help me sleep. That didn't do the trick. The fan in my face didn't do the trick. I was playing around with the heat each night. It was a different temperature every night. When I wasn't getting any sleep. And on Friday night, I got no sleep. And Thursday, I worked so hard. I was ready to drop. And then Friday, I went to work. And when I came home, I was ready to drop. I was just ready to drop. And not the only thing that got me through Saturday is to say, oh, it's a short day. Oh, it's almost over. Cindy, you can do it. And I was just doing my little pep talk to myself and everything. I was just doing little pep talks. And then I was so tired. Oh, I could barely I could barely do nothing. And then Saturday rolled along, and I hadn't slept. Friday night I didn't sleep 5 minutes even. And I had to give her on Saturday. I managed okay, right? And when I'm not sleeping, I know that I can be right, I'm not cranky or shine like I want to. I know I shine whether I try or not, but that extra shine, right? That one that gets me the compliments and stuff. And I still got lots of compliments because I was aware of it. I was aware that I was really tired, so I tried to shine a little bit more because I knew how tired I was. And so I did get my compliments and stuff. And I don't do it for the compliments. I just know it's just something I notice happens when I go and I smile and I try and have a nice day and everything. And Saturdays is one of my favorite days. I would have to say I like Mondays too because it's challenging, because it's just basically two of us, me and one of the managers that closes, and we do such a good job together and we're a really good team. But I like Mondays, but I like Saturdays too because everybody, all my favorites, that coworkers are there. We're working as a team. We all get along really well. We all like each other, and everybody has a big heart, and everybody has their own gifts, and they have their own weaknesses, their own limiting beliefs too, right? So I'm pretty excited to see where their journeys are leading them, and I could see there's some thought leadership there going on too. And yeah, I like the idea of rubbing off of each other, their magic rubbing off on me and my magic rubbing off on them too. So I really like that, right? So yeah, I'm very grateful for all my scribblers. So I will be taking notes. I had one extra scribbler here, but this scribbler here is actually for a new thing that I'm doing, because as I talk to people, is I'm going to from different places and everything, I'm going to get their greetings, right, in their country, how they greet people, and I'm going to choose like 5 interesting or 6 interesting facts about these places, and I wanted to write each greeting down in this book, right, and then also some interesting facts about each of these countries, so that when I do my lives and stuff on my Instagram And if somebody comes, say from Hawaii, right, then I would know to go to my part where it said greeting. What's the greeting for Hawaii? And it's aloha, right? That's an easy one because we all do that. Blue Hawaii with Elvis Presley. And then I would do 12 interesting facts, like interesting ones that I think people might not understand. So this past week I did 2 of them. I thought 2 each week, depending on how many lives I get and stuff. And this past week I did Nigeria and I did Iran. And in Iran, a greeting is salam, right? And you have to touch your forehead with your fingers and you give a little bow, right? Salam. And then on for my greetings, what was the other country that I did? I did Iran and I did Nigeria. And in Nigeria, I didn't realize it, but English is the first language in Nigeria. In Africa, they were a colonized country. And I was so embarrassed because I didn't realize that. And I'm somebody who loves history. And that was something I should have known, right? And yeah, to realize that the number one language, like the first language, is actually English. Like here it is in Canada, it's English, and then our second language is French, right? But in Nigeria it was actually English, and I found that very surprising. But they do have another language. What's the other language? Ashan? Oh, I can't remember what it was, but I wrote it down. But the greeting was Kidu. Kidu is the greeting for that. So, and then I would do some interesting facts. So I thought in my book that I would write these things so that when I do interviews and stuff like that, that I can spew a little bit of the interesting aspects of the countries that these people are coming from, right? And then also have a greeting for them to make them feel comfortable, right? To make them feel that they belong and that they're welcome and that they matter. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought I would do that. Oh, you don't have Instagram, Owen? I thought you were following my content. Oh, David's here too. Hi, David. Any luck this week? Did your icon show up this week, David? I'm so determined. It is going to show up. It is going to end up in the mail. I know it will. Very happy that you made it in today. Hello, David. Hello, David. Best wishes to you and your congregation and to those that you watch over. I hope your work is going well and that you're not getting too pooped out. I know you probably absolutely love what you do, but take care of yourself too. Don't let yourself poop out too badly in your endeavors there, right? I've been drinking. You can see it's almost watered down, right? I get this mango juice and I have this great big Rubbermaid container. It's just huge, just a great big huge thing. And I put 1 can in there and then I fill it up with water, right? I have a hard time drinking water here because it tastes like bleach. But when I let the tap water run for a while and then I make a big jug and I leave it in the fridge, I actually drink quite a bit of it during the course of the day. So I'm doing much better with taking in the fluid. So I'm grateful for that, right? Because I've been having some Charlie horses and I get wicked Charlie horses. I don't know who else out there suffers Charlie horses, but they are not fun. Sometimes my Charlie horses are so bad where it's been a while, but they used to, like, the calves used to come like right around to the front of my leg, and it would be so bad, and they would last for like 10-15 minutes, and they would be so bad that the next day I would just be limping all day. I would be limping all day. And I've had nights where the Charlie horses just wouldn't stop. The moment I stretched my foot or anything, it would just start up again, or I'd get Charlie horses, and then as soon as it would ease down, and then I'd go, oh, okay, it's over. And then as soon as I thought that, it would start up again. It would just be heartbreaking, right? Because when it goes on for a long time, it can be quite discouraging, right? Especially if you've got to work in the morning. But it's been much better. The past few days, it's been much better. And I expect tonight I'm going to have a very good sleep again. I went and I washed my sheets and everything, and I went cleaned my pillowcases, and I did lots of laundry today. I get free laundry here, so it was my day off. I wanted everything nice and clean. I washed and swept my floors. I cleaned my cupboards. I still have my cat litter to do tonight, but I'll do that after my live tonight. I'll make myself another cup of coffee, and I'll go in and take some lessons. I'll do the cat litter, and I'll basically call it a night, right? I'll put on a nice pair of pajamas, and yeah, I put flannel sheets on my bed today. It's been a while, and it's winter, and I thought maybe I would find that comforting and it would help me sleep. But like I was saying, I followed this lady. Her name's Marlene Cohen, and she does light language, right? She does light language, and she every once in a while she throws these gifts out there, and she'll do some light language to help with little issues, emotional issues that people have, or little misunderstandings that people have. And last night, I guess I mentioned on my lives, because Google listens to everything, right? Everything I say, it doesn't matter what platforms, they have full permission on all my content. So they know exactly if I do a live show and I mention something on Instagram, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And they'll suggest something, some kind of solution or some kind of feedback for me to move myself forward or overcome the obstacle that I have. And they'll do that on my YouTube, right? So that's how come I know that they're keeping really good tracks, because they're right on topic. Because I was just grumbling about how terrible my sleep was in my live just the day before, and what come across my feed was probably a 10-year-old video, more than a 10-year-old video from Marlene, and she was talking about she was actually giving out a gift of light language, so that people could sleep a little bit better, right? Because boy, did I sleep last night. Mind you, I was bagged. I was done in. I was ready to drop. I might have slept good anyway, but I'm going to give that credit to her, because why? Because I believe, right? Because I believe, and I think I would have been a master at light language at one time. But, so far I haven't had the time to actually delve in and actually study it and everything. But that doesn't stop me from searching out these creators who are already doing it themselves. And if they're offering little gifts of the light language that will help me out, well, I'm definitely going to partake in it. And she's not the only one I follow for light language. There's a couple that I follow for light language, like Atana. He's from South America, very sweet man. And he does some really, really deep light language, right? So I've been doing lots of it, but I follow content from some of these great thought leaders and some of these great light language, these people that practice light language, that practice Reiki, right? Because I believe in the Reiki too. Let me see what you guys are saying. No icon yet. Oh, David. Igbo language. I'm going to write that down and study that, David. Thank you for that information. Igbo language. Yes, I'm going to see what it is, because I do resonate very much with South America, for sure I do. I was actually watching some of the lost civilizations and the different aspects of what happened with the pyramids in the Aztec pyramids and everything. I found it really, really, really interesting in those cultures, right? And what the Spanish brought, like they brought so much disease, they did so much damage to those different colonies and those different communities. Yeah, I'm just watching the cars pass by and stop in front of the building. I find it interesting to see who pops in, who pops out. Lots of people in wheelchairs in this building. I noticed there's a lot of cabs that pull up, and I really like to see how the cab drivers they treat the people in the vehicles, and so far really good, right? Helping them get out of their cars. Hello, dear. Blessings to you too, Mrs. Sister Donna Cantor. Welcome. Oh, Igbo is Nigerian. Oh, okay. I'll have to delve into that a little bit more. Do you like history and stuff too, David? Do you dabble in the history part of it? I just really love history. I've been trying to take it a lot. I was actually learning about Easter Island this week. That's what I was doing. I was learning about Easter Island and how interesting it was. They said people always wondered how they got those statues upright and everything, and how they dragged them, and they thought they wiped out all the trees, on all the palm trees and everything on the island, because they were making rollers to bring those great big statues, some of them like 15 meters high and everything, and they would plant them upright. And also they would take the stone from the volcanoes, right? And then after they cut the statues from the rock and loosen them, they would let them slide down the volcanoes. They'd let them slide down the volcanoes, but they thought they were rolling them on the palm trees to get them into the places where they wanted them to stand upright along the coast, right? But what would happen is they would find like lots of the statues that survived are actually cracked in half, or they're broken, and they're laying at the foot of the volcano. So they figured that what happened is that they toppled over. Well, if they toppled over at the foot of the mountain, so it wasn't like they slid down the mountain and they broke when they slid, they actually toppled over. So that means that they were being transferred upright. And they said how they did it is they tied 3 ropes around the neck of each one of these and they swiveled the statues back and forth, and they would have made a big deal of right? There would have been religious ceremonies and celebrations around the traveling of these big Easter Island statues that they were mounting, right? But they got there because they walked there. The statues actually walked there by the way they were maneuvering the ropes, and they just kind of wobbled the statues over upright, and that was the easiest way to get the statues in place. And I thought that was so interesting, because I always thought they were dragged into place, right? But I thought that was super interesting. But yes, welcome everybody. Welcome all of you guys. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Cindy. I explore the inside and I explore the outside. We are a non-denominational channel. We don't care about religions. We don't care about cultures. We care about them because we want to learn about them. We want to talk about them. We want to get to know each other. But there is no judgment on this channel in the very least, right? So if you want to send out your prayers in whatever denomination you are, you're more than welcome to. I myself have done an amazing journey, and it has been a journey for me, and I am so grateful to have everybody here just kind of hanging out with me just to see what I'm going to resonate with next. Yeah, very pleased. Oh, David, you're so learned that way. That is amazing. Let me write that down. Biafra. Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. And it's interesting on the different denominations, different cultures that are actually interested in my content. And I'm coming to realize most cultures and most religions are looking at this content that I'm putting out there. So it makes me pleased that I'm on the right track, right? That the lessons are right, that the rest. I still wish that Robert would pop in. Robert, if you pop in later, I'm asking you again, make sure to put a comment down below. And so that at the very least, I can let everybody know next Sunday that you're still alive and kicking, because we're worrying about you, right? Yeah, I know I'm worrying about you, because everybody here is in our charge, right? Like, we all here take care of each other. None of us are anything without the person standing next to us holding us up, right? And that's just the way it goes. But yeah, that was definitely interesting. Nigeria has been popping up in my feed quite a bit lately, right? I find that there's a lot of Nigerias popping. I know it's a big country, and I know for some of the facts in Nigeria, right? Like how they're loosening up the hijabs, right? That it's the majority of the denomination in Nigeria is Muslim and Christian. That they are the sixth largest country with the most people, but they have the highest mortality rate, and people don't live a long time in Nigeria, right? And to me, that's God's way of making it so that people have the highest, right? That there is a better chance that people who do survive, that, right? It's that, what is that? The meek shall inherit the earth. No, that's not the right one. I had a saying right on the tip of my tongue, and it just kind of dissipated just as I was going to say it. I always find that interesting when it happens, because it always feels like it's not coming from me, like it's coming from somebody else trying not to let me get my message across, right? Oh, William just commented, so I'm going to assume William's going to be here in a moment, because he just made a comment on my Instagram. So and I, at the very least, I turned all my comments down and everything, so it doesn't interfere with us during our live shows. But yes, thank you, Donna, for popping in tonight and hanging out. Don't we have a great crew here? Don't we have a great crew? And you know what? I was looking at Melvin here. Where's Melvin? I'm trying to find one of his comments. There's Melvin. Here we go. Melvin. It's time for you to have a wrench there, Melvin. It really is. You try so hard. Melvin loves his politics. And I'm a non-political kind of channel, and I always try to make sure that everybody gets a chance to say what's going on in their minds. And we all have different thoughts. We all have different ideas about things. And we all have different interests. And some of us are very interested in politics. And because, Melvin knows that I'm not a big fan of the politics on my channel, he's very polite. He's very courteous. And he takes great strides to control his excitement about, piping up and giving his opinion. So every once in a while we'll say, okay, Melvin, go have at her, right? Say your piece, right? And he is such a sweetheart and so very, very respectful, so I'm very grateful for Melvin. I hope you get your notification there, Melvin, because I just gave you your moderator. I didn't know if you wanted it or not, but you got it anyway, because you've not missed a live, I don't think. Oh, I can't remember the last time you missed a live, Melvin. You've been here just like everybody here. Make that effort to come into my live. Everybody here who's got a blue wrench has made that extra effort to come in and for my lives, right? So I'm very, very grateful for every single one of you. If I don't say it enough, like I think about you guys all the time. Like I said, like I was thinking about Andrew this morning, and I was thinking how amazing it would be if Andrew could come onto my Instagram lives, right? Because he would be perfect over there. I think it would be perfect. I know lots of you make that extra effort to get over there, but I know lots of people don't do. And I'm a true believer that people should moderate the content that they're going into, right? Unless you actually want to dive into the mindset and into the mindfulness, and you're actually planning on going out there and helping people in their own movement and people moving forward in their own lives, right? It's not necessary for everybody to be online, to be on their TV, to be in the news broadcast, or listen to the president this, right? Or be always on top of what's going on with the coronavirus. I say just look straight ahead. Look towards the light. The light's straight ahead. Don't look to the hairy scary that is off to the side, that's always trying to distract us. Because the number one key, there is only one thing that is most important in moving us forward, right? And that's our curiosity, right? It's our curiosity. And because we're such curiosity beings, right? It's easy for us to get distracted by the wrong things, or it's easy for us to get distracted and delve too deep into some of those contents and some of those topics that we enjoy watching, right? I haven't had a TV in I don't think I've had a TV in about 4 years now. I gave up my TV. I haven't missed it since the moment I gave up the TV. I don't miss anything about it. In fact, I'm saving $50 a month by not having my TV, right? Because I don't have to pay that cable vision bill at all, because I don't in anything I can watch on TV, I can pull it up online, right? I can watch whatever I want online, whoever I want to watch online. And I choose to use my time online to advance myself, to move myself forward in evolution, to understand different religions, to understand different denominations, to understand history and its relationship to us moving forward in the future, for me to understand limiting beliefs and emotional issues, so that I could be a happier person, and that I could show people so that they could also learn to be happy in the lives that they have, right? So that's why that's what I use my content for, right? And yet people talk about Netflix and watching movies. I still have these Ice Age movies I still haven't watched yet, and I plan on. I keep saying I'm planning on watching them, but when? When do I make time? Because you know what? Right after I come off this live, I'm just going to go put my pajamas on. I'm going to come back to there. I'm going to make a fresh cup of coffee. And I'm going to get into lessons right away. I'm going to learn about another culture. I'm going to learn about another religion. I'm going to learn some amazing facts. I'm going to meet somebody new. You're right. I might pick up a new content creator, a new influence to help me along in my journey. Because like I said, we just got to leave ourselves open to these things. If you just leave yourself open without a plan, a little plan, you know what direction you want to go in. So you know the content that you want to pursue. But just leave yourself open, because the opportunity will walk in front of you, right? It always does. And then you just pick it up there. Okay, Cindy, what I love about my Sundays, right? That's that time that we have here. And we have that hour and a half every Sunday, and I'm looking forward to the time where this is my job 100%, and I don't have to go to work. I'm very grateful to have a job that I absolutely just love, but it's not my dream, right? I have dreams, and yes, I'm 60 years old, right? But I have dreams. I never got to realize any of my amazing dreams, right? And I did have dreams, and they kind of sort of materialized, but in different ways. But I sure would like to be the author of my own story. the author of my own dreams, the pursuer of my own dreams, right? And the accomplishment, right? The accomplisher of my own dreams. That's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, everybody. That's my good cheer. You get some good cheer this week too, everybody, on my YouTube channel. I talk about you guys all the time on Instagram. I truly do. And I wish I could spend more time with you guys than our Sundays, but that's what we're working towards, right? We're working towards that, and I'm trying to behave. I'm trying not to spend money. I'm not doing an amazing job at it, but I'm getting the job done. We are getting a vehicle, right? We're getting a vehicle. May 1st, we're out shopping, right? And I should get into some of these car dealerships and some of these sites that sell vehicles just so I have an idea, because maybe I have to push for 5,000. Maybe I have to figure out a way to come up with another $1,000, because that's what I need in order to get back on the back road, to get a reliable vehicle. I won't know until I go in and check out the cost of vehicles. Maybe that 4,000 I get will get me a great vehicle for the back roads. I don't know, not until I look. But in the meantime, tomorrow, task is income tax return, right? Make that appointment to get my glasses, taking some lessons, right? Keep myself open to see what comes by my path, and just shine the best that I can, knowing that if somebody walks by me and needs it, they're going to touch it, or it's going to touch them one way or another, right? I'm not stopping. Forwards. That's what we're doing, moving forwards. Okay, everybody. That's my good cheer. And yeah, I guess it is kind of a good cheer kind of show, isn't it? We'll see each other next Sunday. And if you want to go live with me on Instagram, just come DM me. DM me. We can go live. We can actually even have a chit chat online. Happy to talk about anything. If you have any questions, if you want any help with anything, if you think my insight might help, DM me. And if you think you might have some insight for me, you DM me. And David, I hope your icon comes this week. I hope it comes this week. Okay, everybody. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.